Hello and welcome to this next tutorial on setting up PyCharm in Windows to work with Python. So we're going to start by finding PyCharm online. PyCharm is an IDE from JetBrains. We're going to download the Community Edition because the other versions do come with a license. Accept all. And we're going to download the Community Edition. Give that just a minute to finish downloading. Once this is finished downloading, you can just click the link at the bottom in your browser and it will then run. Just going to go to next. You can keep the default path unless you need to change it. I'm going to add shortcuts, and again it's anything involving an IDE and development is usually useful to add it to the path statement, so I'm going to do that. I'm also going to choose that because that could be very useful. And this will probably overwrite the one we did for VS Code where we set that to open them all. This just means that if we've got a Python file, by default it's going to be opened in PyCharm. Again, you do not have to set that. Okay, so I'm going to pause it while it finishes the installation. At the end of the installation, it will ask you if you want to reboot now or later. I'm going to reboot now. The reason you can see this reboot process is I'm actually doing this in a virtual machine, and it's deliberately done so that you can see this part of the process. Okay, so we've now got PyCharm installed. It's on the desktop. It will also be on the start menu. It will ask us to confirm that we've read the user license agreement. You should read it. I've read it several times. And this is the first stage. We need to create a new project. Now, it will need to have that set. You can change it, but I suggest you don't, at least until you've read up on what they are. The virtual environment is the normal way of doing this. This is asking us where we want to save our PyCharm project. You can change that. It will also ask you for the location of the base interpreter. If you have Python installed and in the path statement, it should detect this automatically. It's got the right file location automatically here for me anyway, but if it wasn't, you would have to manually navigate to the where you installed Python. It's usually useful to inherit global site packages, and it's usually useful to create the initial main.py script, but you don't have to. And at this point, it's all ready to run, and I could hit. It's probably useful to download the pre-built libraries to make things quicker in the future. If I wanted to run this without debugging, I can just click here. It says Hi PyCharm. Or if I click the debug options, it will pay to give PyCharm access to the internet as well for updates, and also because you might want to connect it to version control later. And then I can just start to step into the code, and it's finished because it was just a single line. Okay, thank you for watching. That was a quick demonstration on installing and getting started with PyCharm in Windows.